The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew.
Glory to you, O Lord.
Jesus said to his disciples, "Stop judging, that you may not be judged. For as you judge, so will you be judged. And the measure with which you measure will be measured out to you. Why do you notice the splinter in your brother's eye, but do not perceive the wooden beam in your own eye? How can you say to your brother, 'Let me remove that splinter from your eye,' while the wooden beam is in your eye? You hypocrite! Remove the wooden beam from your eye first, then you will see clearly to remove the splinter from your brother's eye." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
When I was first starting out as a teacher, I would judge students in a way I think that Jesus means here. One of the things that I would do is if I noticed that a student wasn't turning in homework and didn't seem to be studying for a test and didn't come in and see me for extra help, I made the judgment that he was lazy, and thus that was his problem, not mine. It wasn't until a few years later that I ran into John Baroni here at Straight Jesuit, the director of our Learning Resource Center, and one of his least favorite things is for teachers to use that L word, lazy. It could be that a student is lazy, but he invited me to be more curious as to, okay, you see all these different pieces of evidence. Be curious about what else it could be other than laziness. There are not many lazy students at Straight Jesuit. I mean, they all want to do well for the most part on any given day. Laziness is probably not it. Maybe it's that they're 15 years old and they haven't developed a system by which they organize themselves and know when to do what, and therefore things just catch up with them and they get overwhelmed. Maybe it's something going on at home and they're not getting enough sleep. Maybe they're sick. Maybe it's part of a developmental issue with one of the 8 different executive functions, like organization. It could be that they do their homework, but they don't have a system figured out to remember to bring it in and turn it in. So John encouraged, instead of judging, lazy, instead be curious. I wonder what's going on with the student. And it cured me of that sort of judgment, seeing the beam in my own eye before I could help the student who did need help. He wasn't turning in his homework, wasn't doing the work. This sort of judging can take place in a lot of ways. Just about any prejudice that we have can be fixed by the opposite of judging. The opposite of judging is be curious. I wonder what that person's experience is like before we start wanting to take the splinters from his eye.